welcome to the 7th episode of the BroadStreet Sports Podcast featuring Zachary, JB, and Logan Burns.
What's up, everybody? So today we'll start off with the NBA, then we'll move on to the MLB, then NHL, and then we'll finish up with NFL.
Okay, so NBA, the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals have both started, and the Miami Heat are up 1-0, trying to go up 2-0 tonight, and the Nuggets they took a 2-0 lead last night against the Lakers, and the Nuggets, they've really surprised me this postseason because I thought they were just going to be another second-round exit, and they were struggling then because they played really well at the end of the regular season, but I still thought this was the same old Nuggets, but they've been playing really well.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll talk about the Nuggets-Lakers series right now.
Mm-hmm, and we'll get to the East side.
Yeah. I want the Lakers to win just because I like to see Heat. Oh, because I want the Heat to beat the Celtics too in the series. So I want to see a Lakers-Heat series in the finals because I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Just to see like LeBron and
Butler.
And Butler go up against each other, and then it's I don't know. I don't hate the Nuggets. I just don't care for them. Like they're just it's just like
they're not the most exciting team.
Yeah,
they're not the most eye-opening team. They just play a regular style of basketball.
Like I think Jokic is funny. Like he does stupid shit every once in a while, but just like besides that, it's just like neat Nuggets. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And then I want the Lakers to win too because I don't know. I just feel like the Lakers have a really good team, and they've turned a lot of people's heads playing as well as they do. And I think if they really want this series, they're going to because the roster they have right now, I don't know how much people are going to be able to keep in core because they have guys like Russell, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Malik Beasley, I think Vanderbilt. All these guys could be free agents, and I don't know if they can retain all of them if they're already paying LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and then LeBron, he isn't exactly young, so
he's
only got
and who knows if how long he stays because whenever Bronny enters the league next year, he could right then lead the Lakers. Yeah. They got to be set up for the future. Yeah, so that's why they got to bring guys like Austin Reeves back because I see him as the future of the Lakers because he's really showed out this season even more in the postseason.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Lakers are overall a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they're not bad in the regular season, but it's like
their team is made for the playoffs. Like they're not gonna they didn't have the best regular season record. That's why they made the trades because they knew they needed some new voice, some new locker room. They needed to shift the team around, switch it to have better core and better players that fit their timeline or better players that helped LeBron and AD guys who don't need the ball in their hand like Westbrook needed the ball in their hand. So the Lakers had a good trade deadline and it's really paid dividends for them this entire postseason.
I don't know. I think because they're 7th seed?
Yes.
Yeah, the 7th seed. So I think...
But the seed doesn't represent the team that they are.
Well, yeah. So it's that's kind of just how they did in the regular season, but I still think they could definitely beat the Nuggets. But that's only if they actually win a game, because right now, Nuggets...
But they seem to play well at home, so they could go out home and tie the series up 2-2. But then, if they really want to win this series, they can win both games, but then they got to go back to Denver and win one there if they want any chance of winning this series. Because Denver will just dominate if the Lakers can't win one in Denver.
I mean, Jokic really carried Game 1 pretty much. He did really good. He had what?
I think he had 36.
Probably, yeah.
Anthony Davis taught 40, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
There was a pretty much blowout. Most of it, the Lakers tried to make a little pushback, but then the Nuggets just hit a second gear and just took the game.
Yeah, and then in the second game, I mean, Jokic didn't do as good, but he did good.
But he had a triple-double, I think. Yeah. But then other guys contributed, like Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, guys that they didn't have these past couple of postseasons that knocked them out of the second round, but now are paying dividends for them in huge ways.
I think it's still going to be an interesting series because now they're going back. They're going to LA. So
like Devin Booker said in the last series, if you want to win the series, you got it. You just can't win at home. I don't know. I forget exactly what he said, but pretty much something like that. If you want to win the series, you got to go win on the other person's court too.
Yeah. And
we'll have to see if the Lakers can bounce back. Because I think if I'm the Lakers, you got to take both games. You got to go back tied 2-2 going back to Denver.
Yeah.
Because the Nuggets can easily win in 5. If they can easily win the series in 5, if they really want to.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
but you see now going into the East, but you see the Nuggets, a team like this. They've built their team perfectly around Jokic. Jokic doesn't have to be the guy every single night for them. And that's why it's paying dividends for them, and that's why they're in the Western Conference Finals. Now going into the East side, I just want to, before we get to Nuggets, or get to Heat, Celtics, this is why the Sixers got knocked out.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead about that real quick before we hop into Heat, Celtics.
Believed when we lost Game 6, I solemnly believed that's when I just called the series. I was like, we are not winning in Boston, and I was so right. It was.
You do agree. I'm going to bring this point up, and if you want to agree with this, disagree with this, it's your perfectly opinion. I did not like our chances going into Boston, but I did not think we were going to go in Boston and put up that kind of performance. I thought the game would have been close.
I thought it would have been close. Like, I didn't expect to win. It's like, I know before that we were like, what, 2-1 in Boston before Game 7?
Yeah, we won 2 games in Boston, which I thought if we were played up to our standards, we could have won in Boston, but Boston just asserted their dominance. Tatum.
Well, Game 7, because in the first half, we did good. It was, like, close. It was we weren't exactly winning, but it was, like, close. And
I'm going to tell you 2 things right now. I'm going to tell you the turning point of that game and why the Celtics won. The turning point of that game is when Harden goes up, he loses the ball and hits Brown in the face, gets a flagrant, they get 2-3 throws, then the Celtics get the ball, alley-oop, make it 2 points, and then make it close, make it even closer, and then Brown gets a steal, makes it a 2-point game. From then, it completely changed. But then why the Celtics won? What do you think? What is the first thing you think of when Game 7? What players have to step up? The players that your stars
that should have stepped up for the Sixers?
No. When you think of Game 7, who usually steps? Who do you need to step up? Your star players.
Yeah.
The Celtics star players showed up. Jason Tatum had 51 points. Yeah. Brown, I think, had like 25, 26. All I know is they both combined for 76 points. Yeah. That's what they needed from their stars. They needed them to produce, and Tatum went out there with a message and showed why he is a great player. Yeah, he's not playing the best so far in this series, but he won that series he carried his team on his back for Game 7 because he's like, guys, I know I'm not playing the best this entire series, but I'm going to step up in the final game and show why we're the better team. And you saw it. Their stars had 76. Our stars had 24 points combined. Embiid had 15 points. 15 points, and he was the MVP. Yeah. I don't know how to question that. And then James Harden. At this point, I'm not even surprised because he's always been like this. When it matters the most in the playoffs, he had 9 points. He just looked out of sorts. But I'm not even surprised from him. And Embiid, I'm really disappointed in.
Oh, Embiid? I'll talk about Embiid and Harden, my opinion on both. I'll start with Harden because that's a little bit simpler. Mm-hmm. Harden didn't really try, I guess, in Game 7. But at the same time, can you really blame him, though? He's literally a mercenary. He just wants to get paid. Yeah. He doesn't give a shit about the Sixers.
But here's the thing,
He's always going to be a Rockets player. So he just wants to get paid and move on with his life.
But here's the thing, now. He could have been... This game could have shown how much he could have got paid more.
Yeah, I guess.
But now... Teams don't want to pay him that much anymore.
I think he also just wanted to go back to the Rockets and just retire. Cause he knows he doesn't have a lot left. He doesn't care. I don't know.
Yeah, but to show that, not many teams are going to want you. Say he might be interested in the Rockets, but say he wants to go to the Suns. The Suns are not going to want that type of player because the way they're set up now, they got Booker in their prime. They got maybe 2 or good 3 years left of a Durant that they know can produce.
Yeah.
They wanted James Harden to come here and completely be a cancer to the locker room and mess everything up.
Yeah.
Because their championship window, I got them 2 or 3 years. That's how much years they got to win one. And they don't want a guy who's going to mess with that. So, not only is it he could just go back to Houston and retire, but he's always going to go down, he would always go down as the player who never won a championship. Yeah. And it's because moments like this, when he doesn't want to show effort, like, he is a great player and decides to just go quiet when it matters most.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he won us 2 games this series, Game 1 and Game 4, but when it matters the most, he always seems to flop.
Yeah, I mean, he had good games in the playoffs. Like, I know Game 1 against the Celtics, he did really good. He won us the game with a Game 1 shot.
Yeah, but at the same time, it feels like I'm not blaming this. I don't know how people could say this, but both him Embiid are on the court, he seems to struggle. It's not the case. It's just when Embiid seems to be on the court, they completely base the offense around him, and Harden doesn't become as aggressive.
Yeah.
Harden still needs to be aggressive, even with Embiid in the lineup, because you cannot. This new age NBA, you cannot have your team all around the center, because you need your main players to be guards, because you need them to create things. You can't. You saw it in Game 7. And B was mostly at the 3-point line most of the game. Like, he needs to dominate in the paint. Yeah. I expected him at least a 20, 30-point performance from him. He only game I found that he had maybe an MVP performance was Game 5, which we won. Game 4, don't get me wrong, he had 30 points, but he struggled in the fourth quarter. That's when James Harden took over this game and won it for us. But I think if I'm Embiid, like, year after year, he's either been hurt or he doesn't perform when it matters most. Yeah. And I don't even know. If I'm the Sixers, I think it's honestly time to blow it up, because the only player I think that you have a future with is Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
Because
he was the only one who carried at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the only one still trying.
Him, Tobias Harris, and PJ Tucker really were the only ones that I see seeing effort out of and who came to play.
Yeah. But it's like PJ Tucker, old. He's just there to yell at people pretty much.
Or just be in the corner and hit the occasional three from time to time, which he did.
Yeah.
He gave you what he's expected of.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris, I don't even know the story about him. He's just one of the most overplayed players in the league, and he just doesn't produce what he's getting paid. And this is the perfect time to trade him, because he's on the final year of his contract. Yeah. And Tyrese Maxey, he's still growing. He's going to be a future star in this league. He's only 22, and he's producing numbers like this. He's gonna have struggles, because it's early in his career. He's still trying to get used to the league. This is only his third year in the league, and he's already trying to be put in a championship role, which he's did well, but he struggles. But he's not supposed to be the main guy. And Embiid and Harden were supposed to be the main guys, and they did absolutely nothing when it mattered most.
Yeah, I don't know. Harden. I don't really care. I expect him to kind of leave, and with Embiid, I just want him to get traded. I am so fucking tired of him.
Yeah, because it's been year after year with him.
Yeah,
he always says we're gonna get better. It's just mental. And you get a guy like PJ Tucker who helps with your mentality. Like he's that physical kind of guy, get in your face and tells you that what you're doing wrong. You get that, and you're still getting those same issues brought. You're still getting that same thing brought up from Tobias Harris. He said mentality issues. Like, what else that needs to be done for you to get past that second round? I think it's finally, and it's been said for this a couple days now, and I totally agree. The process, it's time to get rid of that. It's dead. It's a failed experiment, and it was failed. Like, people might say we failed if Embiid gets traded. It's failed. You've tried so many things year after years, wasting draft picks on players that have done nothing for you, absolutely nothing, or getting guys that, or just getting the same old result year after year. Like, it's just, I'm just tired of it.
Yeah, I was already pissed off after watching Game 7. I didn't even finish the fourth quarter. I was just like done with it after we passed 20. After the Celtics took 25.
Mm-hmm. The story of that game is when we scored only 10 points in the entire third quarter.
Yeah, I stopped watching the fourth quarter, and then the press conference then fucking helped his case. That just pissed me off more. I was like, I'm tired of this dumbass.
And the most famous thing that I took out of it is when Beach said, "It just can't be me and James. It's a 5-on-5
I laughed at that.
game."
I was like, "Are you fucking serious? What did you do?"
Exactly.
What did you both do? You combined 25 points. Come on.
The other three guys on the court combined for more, and you said it's a 5-on-5 game. How about you two guys step up?
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember laughing at that, and then a good 5 minutes later, I saw, going into baseball a little bit, I saw Bryce Harper got into a fight with one of the Rockies pitchers. I was like, holy shit, Bryce Harper is about to kill some guy.
Yeah, at least he showed more effort than those two.
There's a big difference between those two, like franchise play, because Embiid and Bryce Harper, they're like the franchise players.
For each of their sports respectively affiliated.
Yeah, so it's like, compare those two. There's a big difference between them, because it's like, Joel Embiid didn't seem to care about Game 7, which is very important. Bryce Harper,
they were just walking down the court every time. Like, and they seemed to give no effort at all.
Bryce Harper is about to just beat the shit out of some random-ass pitcher.
In a May game.
Yeah, in a random-ass game.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's a big difference. And honestly, I'm a little curious, because the pitcher started the whole fight. a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious to see what he said to Bryce Harper,
Yeah.
if it was directed at him or he was just saying something and
Yeah.
Bryce Harper heard it and he was just like, oh, fuck no.
Yeah. No, but the Sixers, at least they're one step in the right direction firing Doc Rivers, which should happen.
I wanted him gone a while ago.
Yeah, before we get into the Celtics Heat series, who do you want? Who would you be your finalist, or who do you just want as head coach at all?
I mean, I was never really that good on coaches. I always forget names, but the one guy I had in mind was the Bucks coach,
Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah,
Because this is the thing for the Sixers. This was the perfect. Don't get me wrong. I wanted Doc Rivers fired a long while ago.
Yeah.
But this was the perfect time to fire him because you're never ever gonna get this kind of coaching tree probably ever again. The amount of great coaches that are here: Mike Budenholzer, Nick Nurse, Monty Williams. Those are three guys. Two of them that already won championships and one that's been in the finals. You got guys like Frank Vogel, Mike D'Antoni. You can bring up Sam Cassell, which I would love. But I think the worst thing you could do is sign Mike D'Antoni. Because if you know if Mike D'Antoni if we hire Mike D'Antoni, Harden's gonna come back, and it's gonna be the Philadelphia Rockets.
Yeah, very much.
We might even bring in Chris Paul, crying out loud.
I would laugh really hard. I would probably stop watching basketball altogether, but I would
But
laugh.
But I think a guy we could hire, Monty Williams. He's already been in the system.
Yeah.
Sam Cassell, I would love that. I feel like he would do great with the players. And then I think Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse would be able to fire these guys up and make sure that they're playing to the best of their abilities. Especially if we kept Embiid, I feel like he would tell him what he's doing right and wrong and tell him to play up to his standards.
Yeah.
Because we've always been a great regular season team, but always left so much to be desired in the postseason, specifically in the second round.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just tired of Embiid. I want him to get traded. I don't care who the fuck we get or who we take who we give him to or what we get. I just want him gone.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of him. Right now, Jimmy Butler's my favorite player because he actually does something in the playoffs. So, I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, but let's just get into the
Heat Celtics series. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can go ahead.
All right. So far we only had one game so far in the series. The Heat took that game, so it's sick. The Heat's up by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler had a great game.
Yeah.
He put up what, 44 points? Is that what it says?
35.
35. All right, he put up 35 points. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
He had 35 points. He had what, 6 steals, and 2 of those were in like the last 3 minutes, so that was crucial.
Yeah. And that 1-3 he hit.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And then he had that 1-3 towards the end where he hit. It was like he stepped back and then hit it in, I forget whose face, but I think he's the equivalent of Michael Jordan in the playoffs. The way he performs, he just always seems to leave it on the line in the playoffs. Year after year, he could be a okay regular season performer. He's still a great regular season performer, but then he performs even more in the postseason.
Yeah, it seems
players like that. That's why
seems like a weird coincidence because we all know. We all know
the conspiracy.
Yeah,
theory,
we all know the conspiracy.
Yeah,
they look similar.
Yeah,
but
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always loved Jimmy Butler. Even I loved him when he was on the Sixers, so I kind of followed him when he joined the Heat. So I don't know. I always loved him, and he's doing really good. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then Tatum, he still had 30 points, but he had 0 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was just goofing. He burned out at Game 7 against the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to think about. All I could say is that Sixers series, before we move on to MLB, because this series pretty much, Game 2 tonight, we'll have to see how this series really going to be shaped out.
Yeah.
But all I have to say is the Celtics, they did not play their best series, and after Game 1, they still didn't play their best, but the Sixers, once again, didn't take advantage of that, and I don't even want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, I have the Heat winning in 6 with the series. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they can
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some MLB. So, yesterday we had a very interesting game. We had the St. Louis Cardinals and Los Angeles Dodgers. The score pretty much looked like it was, I don't know if I want to say football score necessarily, but
I mean,
that could be. It would be a low scoring game, but
kind of. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like football.
yeah, the final score was 16-8 Cardinals, which talk about a game you want to go to. If you're, I don't even care if I'm a fan of either of those teams. If you're a Dodgers fan, like that's a great game to go to.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, you got to look at like the innings too, because Dodgers in the first inning, Dodgers had 2, Cardinals had 0.
Yeah.
Second inning, neither of them scored, and then third inning, the Cardinals scored 6.
They had 4 home runs that inning.
Yeah, I know. And then fourth inning, they had 3, and then 5-0 happened, and then
that was a grand slam from Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, and then the sixth inning, the Dodgers had 5, and then the 7th, the Dodgers had 1, Cardinals had nothing, and then the 8th, the Cardinals
just
scored
pulled ahead.
7. Yeah. So it's like
it's
a high scoring game, but it's like every other inning, it's just like we'll put up 5 or more.
Yeah, it's like no mercy rule.
Yeah.
Like just keep the pedal on the gas. Like, oh, Dodgers are coming closer. Now we'll just pull ahead and just end this game.
Yeah.
But the Cardinals, I want to talk about them real quick. They really did not start the season well, but they are starting to hit really well right now.
Yeah, they should. I mean, right now the record's 19-26, but that's not like a hard record to come back from.
Yeah, they were way worse before. They only had a couple weeks ago. They only had like 10 wins.
Yeah,
so
they're definitely bouncing back. That's all I gotta say.
Definitely.
And the Dodgers aren't exactly a bad team. So
yeah, but they're not as good as they were in years past because they keep losing players year after year.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying they're like the best team, but it's like their record's good. They still have some good players. So I don't know. I think the Cardinals are bouncing back though, and beating the Dodgers will probably, I guess, help their self-esteem on some level.
Yeah.
But they're making a good run for it.
Yeah. Anything else you really want to talk about baseball? Or?
Not really. I mean, it's just
This is the midpoint of it.
Yeah.
Really, when it gets to start to June and July, that's when you see these teams really come into what they really are.
Yeah.
But before we go into NHL, Phillies, let's just talk about Phillies real quick.
Yeah.
What do you expect this series to be against the Cubs?
Cubs, every new series we go into, my hopes is that we just sweep the series because we haven't swept anybody yet, right?
No.
Nope.
And we just got swept by the Giants, who they didn't even have a sweep at either.
Yeah, so it's like
the only sweep we really had was the Blue Jays.
Okay,
that's 2 games.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's like if it's 3 or more, that's like a series.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think we at this point with any series, I just want the Phillies to just sweep.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter who we're playing.
But
I just want them to
hopefully it's getting into this June part of it. Hopefully these next couple weeks, when we get into June, maybe the bats will start to wake up and they'll show the team that they really are. But I'm really proud of Castellanos so far because he's
doing good.
Mm-hmm. And then Harper, just wait till he gets into his own.
Yeah, and Harper's slowly getting back.
And then Trey Turner, give him a couple more weeks, and then hopefully he gets into his own. Or I don't even know what to think about that because I thought him as a dark horse NL MVP this year, but. We'll have to see. Well, if you think about it, Harper, the year he won National League MVP. He didn't start raking until after the All-Star break and everything since then.
I think with new players, especially for baseball, they have plenty of time. So I don't usually expect them, at least in their first season with a new team.
Castellanos, he didn't play well in his first year.
Yeah.
And then now he's playing much better this year.
Because how long did we get Trey Turner for? What?
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. So it's like
he'll be 39 at the end of his contract.
Yeah, he has time to kind of bounce back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not saying he should do. I'm not saying I expect him to do bad. Just like all right. Yeah. I don't expect him to like carry the team. I'm still kind of relying on Harper to do that. But
yeah.
But I don't know.
Should be interesting.
I feel confident. Right now we're 20-3 or 20-23. So
23 would be nice. But
no.
Yeah, we're not the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, we're not that lucky.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into the NHL now because the conference finals have also started for them, and we had an interesting game last night. We had the Florida Panthers and Carolina Hurricanes go to quadruple overtime.
Yeah.
Which, that's crazy, but
yeah,
that's going to be a good series, I think. The Florida Panthers, they really, really surprised me. Like, they're the 8th seed.
Yeah,
and they were leading right now.
I don't understand. I don't know what it is with like Florida teams going into the playoffs 8th seed and then just carrying like.
Yeah, Miami Heat, Florida Panthers. Like, here's the story. It doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, or it doesn't matter how you got it. It matters what you do when you get in.
Yeah,
and they're showing that to a T. Like, I don't even know. The Panthers, I was like, I'm just surprised they're even doing this because they lost some key guys in free agency, and I even give them one thought because I was like, they're struggling. I don't even know if they're doing anything, and now they kicking one against a really good Carolina Hurricanes team.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting. And then we'll talk about how about we talk about the next series, Vegas and Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
Vegas, they pretty much handled the Oilers pretty well, which I found that a surprise because I thought the Oilers were a pretty good team, but the Vegas just has more experience. And then the Stars won a huge game against the Kraken in Game 7. If I'm the Kraken, I'd be very happy about the first year of expansion, and they have a lot to build off next year. Probably even getting maybe some good free agents this offseason. So,
I mean, they're good and young, so
yeah, and they got some. They at least when you're a new expansion team, that first year you're trying to find players that can stick with your team. Yeah, and they found a couple guys in that. So. Yeah. And then, so what do you expect to see in the Western Conference Finals, Stars and Golden Knights? Who do you expect to win that?
The Stars. I don't know though, because I'm not a big hockey guy, but I don't know. The Krakens have been doing good, so I honestly think the Krakens will take the series in 6.
The Krakens got eliminated.
What am I looking at?
Yeah,
I'm tripping.
The Stars and the Golden Knights are in the series right now.
Alright. Yeah. I don't know. I just think I'm not a big hockey guy, but the Panthers are going on a run, and if you beat the Bruins, and I know the Bruins were the best team in the league, if you beat them, no one can really stop you at that point. Yeah. So
but
they're probably.
You can't knock out the Hurricanes. They're still a really good team.
I know, but I don't know. I just think if you beat the best team in the league, it's just like you're kind of just on this like snowball effect, and nothing's really going to stop you.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. Granted, I'm not a big hockey guy, but I don't know.
And then, who do you expect to go to the finals between the Florida Panthers and Hurricanes and Stars and Golden Knights?
I think the Golden Knights are going to go, and they're going to play the Panthers, and then the Panthers are going to beat the Golden Knights.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you think the Golden Knights are going to get to the finals again and lose?
Yep.
Okay. That should be interesting. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's a quick recap of the NHL. Let's get into our final topic today. It's not much about the NFL, but we'll talk about something at least. So, players, their training camp, I guess, if you want to call it training camp, kind of started this start of this week, and players are starting to practice again, and you're seeing the rookies, they already had their, like, kind of mini camp practicing, and so what do you expect going into this season?
What do I expect? Every once in a while, I kind of just think about the NFL. I think of the AFC South, because they all got new quarterbacks besides from the Jags. Yeah. Everybody else got.
Everybody has a rookie.
Much. Like I think
the Titans, they might start Ryan Tannehill, but Will Levis could come in at any point.
Yeah, I know. I think besides Ryan Tannehill, I just find it funny to think that Trevor Lawrence is the senior quarterback.
Yeah,
I always find that hilarious.
Well, this is only his third year.
Yeah, so it's just like, wow, look at that.
But you see it, the NFL's getting younger, and these teams are making decisions on getting a quarterback, getting younger at the quarterback, and finally, the Texans, they swung for they got their quarterback they wanted to. I thought they were going to get defense, and they still did, trading up for Will Anderson. So, but the Texans, I'm looking at the Texans-Colts matchup. That's going to be good with Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud. I feel like that's going to be a future rivalry to come. I think the Jags I think the Jags might take divisions because they might have the overall best team, but just wait until the Texans and Colts start to get better.
Yeah, well, this season I don't expect much from that division. I think the Jags will win the division. Yeah,
but you're going to see promise. You're going to see strides from C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I'm not saying they'll do bad. Like they'll do better. Like the Texans aren't going to be the worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I know that because they got.
I think
they got C.J. Stroud.
The Titans are going to be the bottom feeder of that division.
Are. They have just lost. They haven't done anything.
Will Levis is probably going to start mid-season. They'll probably they might even do the Derek Carr approach. Maybe just bench Ryan Tannehill midway through the year just to see what they have in Will Levis.
I think the Colts and Texans are they're going to do a little bit better. Not by a lot, but they're going to do better because besides from quarterbacks, well, I guess the Texans got what's his face in the third round or third pick.
Will Anderson.
Yeah, Will Anderson. I think the Texans will do a little bit better than the Colts because the Colts really haven't done anything, at least. Not that I remember, but the Colts haven't really done anything, so they'll do slightly better because they got a new young quarterback, but like besides that, I don't think they'll do much better. And the Texans, I think, will be second in the league or second in the division.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then
Any other things you want to talk about? Any division?
I guess since we're talking about new quarterbacks, let's talk about Bryce Young.
Okay.
I think because that division,
That's an interesting one.
that division is weird.
Right now, the favorites I would see are the Saints.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like, because what do they have? They have Derek Carr.
They have Alvin Kamara still. You can't forget about
Yeah.
him. You have Michael Thomas maybe coming back to his
Yeah.
own, and then you got guys like Olave, who was a great rookie for them,
Yeah.
and they got a bunch of good targets there for Derek Carr
Yeah.
to use for his disposal.
I think I think the Panthers are gonna go 9-8.
Bryce Young, I got him as the early rookie of the year because
Yeah.
he's got an offense that can help him for this 1 year, but they're eventually gonna have to help him even more.
Yeah.
But I like his offense.
It's a good starting offense.
Yeah, he's got Miles Sanders, he's got Adam Thielen,
Yeah.
he's got DJ Chark, he's got Jonathan Mingo, and he's got Hayden Hurst. And
Yeah.
an offensive line that can be built around
Yeah.
him for the future, like Ikem Ekwonu and other guys he has around that offensive line that can help him down the road.
Yeah.
But I see Bryce Young making huge strides this year, and I think he could really turn something. Everybody's gonna look at him for his height, but if he really wants to show everybody that he's not just for his height, then he's gonna put out his talents.
I think the height thing, I was kind of laughed at it. I don't hold it against him because I mean Kyler Murray, he's short and it's like he's not the best, but he's isn't the worst either.
Yeah.
But he could be better, but it's not because of his height.
It's because the management around him.
It's just the Cardinals are goofy. I don't know. It's
I have them being the worst.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I don't expect them to really do anything.
Kyler Murray's not going to join. He's not going to be on the team till half the year.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the Cardinals had a good run. A year? The last season, not this season. Last season.
Yeah, I think the first year they got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or maybe the year after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Cardinals are going to be the worst team in the league. They haven't done anything. If anything, they kind of lost the draft on some level. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They're not a happy thought in my mind. The only thing that brings a smile on my face is that we play them week 17.
Yeah,
like that,
Christmas or New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so easy win, baby.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, or?
Not really. I mean, I can't think of anything at least because
Yeah. I guess NFL. This is kind of the time where
it's
kind of the app point. Really, when you start to get in July and August, that's when you start looking at things. So
yeah,
and there's still moves that can happen. This is still the off season. Still a bunch of free agents out there. So
yeah,
should be interesting. But that's gonna wrap up today's episode. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, see ya.
See you.